Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. So the next image is called Chin Women. Do you want to describe it?
Yes, please do.
Now, you. Here's the thing. I feel a little bit awkward because you began so strongly talking about black and white photography, and then
I sent you a color image. True. This is an iPhone photo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's why.
Well, not to plug that company.
Oh, sorry.
It's a beautiful image.
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't released the black and white ones yet, so partially it's yes, so that's why I sent you a color picture from my smartphone.
Got it. Well, look, so in the image, you have two young women sitting, smoking what could be whatever they're smoking. It could be pot, could be just tobacco, it could be...
It's a long pipe.
It's a very long pipe.
But each of them have a pipe.
Yes, each one has a pipe. The bowl is very tall and conical and whatever. Speaking of feet, okay, so I'm looking at this young woman's feet. Pretty dirty and calloused and you know.
Now, I would say they were gnarly.
Yeah, okay, these feet are gnarly. So it's in a village, I would assume somewhere in Asia, potentially, let's just say northern Thailand. They're sitting at the step of a wooden sort of building with like this tin kind of roofing in the background. They're both smoking this stuff. They're wearing, both of them have these like long sarong looking skirts. There's a beautiful play of purple and violet and blue. So in that sense, visually, and then their skin really works well with the wood tone. So the color of the wood, and then their skin is relatively dark, I'd say warm olive. And on there, I guess part of what makes the image even makes you stop is that they both have pronounced facial tattoos, and one is looking straight at the camera, and the one is looking off camera, and it's powerful image. So please explain why this image.
This image, I mean, I think even with the color, this brings back a lot of memories and a lot of ideas about why or how women alter themselves. So this is the Chin tribe, which is in Burma, Myanmar. And this woman, the one on the left, is actually, that's her home. Mm-hmm. I had actually slept there the night before. So just right behind, I was sleeping on that floor with my mother. I took my 80-year-old mother with me, which was wonderful. And it was about looking at the Chin tribe. Now, there is 15 different groups in the Chin tribe, which are spread quite far out in rural areas of Burma. And I had found a guide who was doing ecotourism, where he would take you to the houses and he was teaching them about being more sanitary, cooking well and stuff. And then they were paid through him and money went to the local schools. And so it felt like a much better way of actually doing it. Although we did go there on motorbikes, which for my 80-year-old mother was great fun. Back to the Chin women. They're absolutely incredible. So what I was saying was that there's different groups. So the different groups have different style tattoos.
Oh, okay.
So I have, over the last 4 years, been traveling around Burma to document the different style of tattoo in the Chin tribe. And they go from, this one is quite, in some ways, if you think about it, more Aboriginal looking, that it's got lines and circles and dots. Whereas some of them are all dots, some of them all stripes, some of them are all swirls. And it's, asking them, finding out more about their lives and why they did it. And again, it was done at a young age. Typically, they had it done when they were about 7 years old. And they would do it in one day.
Oh, wow.
Burmese government banned it.
Okay.
And so these women in Myanmar are the last remaining women in the Chin tribe that have tattooed faces, because they would be fined if they had it done after that. Wow. And so I was trying to make a collection and ask them. So a bit like the bound feet is that it's the last remaining women with this actual tradition. And they, just like the bound feet women, about a third of the women that I talked to, they bound their own feet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because they wanted to make sure that they were part of their society, that they had a better chance. Mm-hmm. And the same thing with the tattooed faces was quite often these women told me that they would run off, not telling their parents, to the tattoo artist to have it done.
I just want to point out that looking closer at the images, the woman who's closer to the photographer is, in a way, she kind of dominates the image. When I look closer, she looks a little bit older. Like her eyes look a little bit older. She looks like maybe the mother of the other one, who looks quite younger. And if the elder is in her, let's say, early 40s, the younger looks like maybe 18 or 16.
No. She's much older. I think she's about 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say 57. Okay.
Yes. Not quite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Okay. How long did you stay at their place?
2 days. I stayed with them, and then I moved on, and I saw the guide that I had found. He took me to stay with several people, meet them, find out about their life. And I was supposed to go back to that particular area to see them, because this was pretty out of the way, which is why we went on a motorbike last March.
Oh, okay.
And I was on my way to the airport.
Oh, wow.
When I found out that the flight had been cancelled.
Right.
So I had a 5-week trip planned.
Okay, yeah, that just fell apart.
Just completely and utterly fell apart. Still feel distraught from it today. One of my suitcases is still unpacked.
Just in case, you never know.
It's still full.
Yeah.
I haven't unpacked it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like I was devastated at the time. Mm. So I do go back and visit them and find out more about them. And some of them, I've gone back 3-4 times already to see some of the other women, like these two. This is a mother and daughter. Okay,
so right now Joe is pointing to is that printed on canvas?
Yes, this is a canvas print.
Okay, so it's printing. It's a photo behind her, just kind of, I guess, sort of held up with magnets. And so, wow, the facial tattoos are a lot darker.
Yeah.
Is that a boy at the bottom?
No, that's the mother.
That's the what? Okay, that's how off I am. That's the mother.
That's the mother.
Yowza. Okay, so the mother looks like a kind of a petulant skater boy.
Yes, I think it's the beanie.
Cap. Yeah, the beanie. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
So I had spent like a couple of hours with the daughter.
Right.
And photographed. And then the next day I came back and this woman, then I found out that was the mother. Mm. And they even have the tattoos over the eyelids.
Yeah. Wow, that's intense.
It's very... Yeah, but so it's all about tradition. It's all about culture. It's about belonging. It's about how if you don't do that, then you are not showing you belong to a group of people.
You're not the in tribe. You're not part of the in group. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's which is what we do in fashion and cosmetic surgery in the Western world. So it's not actually very dissimilar, in my personal opinion. And so they were doing it so that, they belonged. I mean, these are people who are not very well off.
Mm-hmm. But these are the kind of the cultural cues, and it's kind of how things are done, So, like in my young family, we got our daughter's ears pierced when she was a baby, and it was just one of those things. How about we move on?
So why did you start interviewing?
Well, of course, no, it's great. Yeah. It's great. No, I think what it is we were thinking, well, the older she is, the more it's going to hurt. So, we just gave her the ear piercings, thinking that it was going to be less painful down the road.
But why should she have her ears pierced? Was it culturally, or was it tradition?
No, but obviously those are good questions, right? In the sense that in our culture, girls have their ears pierced. And that's what, I'm Western Canadian. In our culture, the Canadian. So we were thinking of getting her some facial tattoos, but then my wife said I shouldn't. I never get to play. I want to give her a mohawk. I am not allowed. I wanted to give her facial tattoos. I'm not allowed. No fun.
Terrible. No
fun.
When I don't even remember how old I was. I think I was about 12. Me and my sister, my big sister, went to a place to have our ears pierced. Mm-hmm. And we got there and it was £5. And we only had £5. So we both got one ear pierced. And I've never had the other one done.
Oh, really? Oh, so you only have one ear?
I've only got one ear pierced.
Wicked.
Yeah, and my sister since has had the other one done. But I was just like, no.
Oh, good for you. That's fun. That's good. That's a nice little. That's nice. That's sweet.
Anecdote. Yes, it's really weird. I used to wear really large earrings, a cherub, for some awful reason, and people would always say, "Oh, you've lost one earring."
Yeah.
No, it's safely at home. In the case I lose it. Anyway, so the tattoos resonated with me because I realized that they see great beauty in it. There's also this traditional thing that they had the facial tattoos done so that they said the Burmese could not steal their daughters.
Oh, okay.
Because the daughters were so beautiful and there had been a king that had taken Chin girls as brides.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a way of, in some ways, making themselves look ugly.
Right.
But beautiful.
Yeah, to keep them in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is not what I was expecting from our conversation, which makes it so much, so much cooler in a way.
What were you expecting?
Tea sets and hamsters. I don't know. No, I have no idea. I wasn't expecting anything.
No. I think they threw me out of England because I didn't like tea.
Oh, okay.
I like Chinese tea, but I don't like tea with milk.
Right. Got it.
I'm a coffee person.
Let's move on to the next image because your images are very powerful. How long have you been doing photography? More seriously,
well, I suppose 9 years ago I started again more seriously, which is when I then had the Kickstarter. And I mentioned the Kickstarter again because it was because of the Kickstarter that people started noticing my photographs. I had been doing this project for years and I would send it to magazines and nobody was interested. And I was living in a flat in Chai Wan, and I had pictures of the bound feet blown up to A3 size and stuck all over my living room wall.
Wow.
Just to remind myself, because it was like nobody's listening, nobody cares, nobody wants, but I think it's so important to capture these women with bound feet before they disappear. And when I did the Kickstarter, I produced press releases and I sent it out to people, and I got a phone call from the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
And they called me up and said, could they interview me? And that was it. Once the Wall Street Journal, within days I had the Washington Post, Huffington Post. I had, it went on to CNN, Vogue Italia, the Daily Mail, the Guardian.
So you work in black and white. Do you print? Do you have a darkroom here, or do you?
No, I don't print it. I do. You can see over there that white thing.
Okay.
It looks like a foldaway wardrobe or something. That's where I dry all my film.
Okay.
So I process all my film here. I've got all the tanks and everything out in the corridor.
Full on.
And so I process all my film here and I dry them in there so that they're dust free.
Mm-hmm.
And so then those grey boxes over there are full of negatives.
Okay.
And then I have like my Nikon scanner behind you so that I can scan large format.
Oh, got it.
So that I can scan it for, promotion, mainly into center magazines and stuff.
That's great.
So yeah, I just had a Australian publisher contact me because they want to put it in a book called The Short History of China, coming out in May 2021.
Nice.
I don't know. It seems like, how can you write a short history of China? Okay, so they'll be using this image, actually.
Nice.
This is the image that they'll be using in the book.
Okay.
Yeah. The one of the bound feet. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's talk about the third image. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.